In 2020, in the Banter Blitz sessions on Chess24, Luis Paulo Supi, the strongest grandmaster from Brazil, pulled off one of the most incredible and most epic queen sacrifices against Magnus Carlsen. Even Magnus Carlsen was stunned by this move. His face expression was something like he was really stunned. He was really surprised when he saw this move coming. So in my opinion, this was simply a top topic for a couple of days. Luis Paulo Supi was really the hero of the chess internet world. So in my opinion, really a beautiful game, really an epic tactical shot that he pulled off here against Magnus Carlsen. So let's see now the game. Although it's a blitz game, although maybe it's not the most important game, but it has such a beautiful pattern. Let's see now what happened here. Luis Paulo Supi opened with move e4. Magnus' response was the d5 move for the Scandinavian defense. We have e takes d5, accepting now the challenge in the center of the board. After e takes d5, queen to d5 by Magnus, and now Luis Paulo Supi simply developed the knight. We have bishop to g4, and here after bishop to e2, we're keeping everything compact. So far, nothing spectacular in the game. In the game, Magnus continued with normal development, knight to c6, and preparing queenside castling. We have knight to c3, hitting the queen, and that's now the downside about the Scandinavian defense, because when you pick up the pawn on d5 many times, of course, white gets an extra tempo, white gets extra activity, the queen is a little bit exposed now in the center of the board. So Magnus goes with queen to d7, keeps his tensions here around the square h3. In some occasions, if you maybe castle, play h3 and similar stuff, there are even some tactics in which you sacrifice the bishop, so you have very many opportunities here. So Magnus keeps now really also an active game with his pieces. So in the game, h3 was played immediately by Luis Paulo Supi. We have bishop to f3, we have bishop takes f3, and now after queenside castling, now we have kingside castling, and we have now an opposite side attack game, which means the kings are on opposite sides, and now the main strategy is to attack your opponent's king, and who is faster on the attack will probably win the game. So that's why here after move knight to d4, Magnus continues now the pressure towards the king side. Luis Paulo Supi simply attacks the queen side immediately, and this is the way to go, because if you stop your progress, if you don't be active here, you could get really destroyed on the other side. So in the game king to b8, Magnus improves a little bit the position of the king, because many times there are some problems around the square a7, so that's why Magnus gets closer to this a7 square, and also as we said, keeps a little bit more secure the king. So in the game, knight to b5 by Luis Paulo Supi, he is sacrificing now a pawn if of course this happens. Knight to b5, a takes b5, queen to b5. But in opposite side attack games, this is exactly what you want to do. You sacrifice one pawn, but at least you're keeping your attacking chances. Now maybe something like d3, bishop to e3 could happen. Both bishops of course could be dangerous on the queen side. So beautiful move here so far, the move knight to b5. But Magnus doesn't go for this. He keeps the files locked. He's saying, I will take out your bishop. I will not do anything here on the queen side. I still can defend my position like this. So after move queen to f3, we have now the move a6 by Magnus Carlsen. He doesn't want to tolerate anymore the knight, but now comes immediately a mistake here by Luis Paulo Supi. We have to say c4 is not the optimal move here. Actually, Magnus could have defended this idea with a takes b5. Here it's possible to pick up the knight. Many times you should not pick up this knight because you're opening files, but actually in this position it would be possible, because after a takes b5, the defensive idea would be the move queen to d3. Queen to d3 is paralyzing the bishop on c1. If you want to of course make further progress, you want to of course play something like maybe d3, bishop to e3, and open some files, open some diagonals. But here, as we said, Magnus had the chance to play the move queen to d3, and here black should be much better. But for move c4, this was of course a blitz game, so you see everyone makes a mistake. Magnus pulled off the move e5, which is not so good. Of course, Magnus is hoping also to get more pieces into the game, but now Luis Paulo Supi has this beautiful move, d4. He lets now the position explode in the center of the board. And finally, he is including now the bishop also into the attack, targeting, of course, if you play something like e takes d4, the bishop can come into the game, and also the queen is here. So many pieces will be activated in the attack. So after move e takes d4 that Magnus Carlsen played, Luis Paulo Supi continued with his plan, bishop to f4, and now we have the main mistake here by Magnus. He plays now the move a takes b5. The better idea was maybe here to play g5, simply kicking away the bishop. The bishop should not be tolerated here, but after a takes b5 that Magnus Carlsen played, that's the position that Luis Paulo Supi wanted to get. A takes b file, the a file is open, the bishop is active, the queen is active, and now what we want to do is just include this other rook into the attack. We're trying to play rook battery, and this could be game over already here for black. So that's why Magnus tried at least something. He's trying to simplify the game by trading off the bishops. In the game, rook to a2 was played by Luis Paulo Supi, and now queen to f5. So even if you play something like bishop to f4, still rook to a1 is coming, so you don't have even time to pick up the bishop. Look at this, it's even a checkmate here that Luis Paulo Supi prepared. So after rook to a2, Magnus tried now to move queen to f5. He's trying now to simplify the game by trading off the bishops, maybe even trading off the queens. But Luis Paulo Supi simply continues with his plan. He plays now the move rook to a1. We have now king to c8. Magnus is again sensing that he could have problems here on the a file, and now comes the stunner of the game. Here, pause the video and try to see now maybe the winning continuation here for white. It's really incredible move that Luis Paulo Supi played, and Magnus Carlsen acknowledged this brilliant move and simply resigned immediately when Luis played this amazing idea. Okay, the stunner is here, the queen sacrifice on c6. This is the way they go, because after b takes c6, if you don't accept the challenge, of course, you get checkmated on a1. You have to actually play b takes c6. Look at this, b takes c6 is going to happen, and you don't have time to escape. You can just prolong the game by maybe sacrificing the queen. We pick up the queen, and still you don't have time to escape. This pawn is basically holding the whole position here on the queen side. Now after something like bishop to a3, again, you just prolong the game here with rook to a1. This would be a beautiful checkmate. So stunning idea here by Luis Paulo Supi. Incredible move it was, in my opinion. Simply one of the top topics in 2020 when it comes to Blitz chess online. So okay, I hope that you enjoyed the game for a beautiful Sunday evening. If you want to see more brutal attacks like this, check out our best chess games of all time series with some more games played by Magnus Carlsen, Hikaru Nakamura, Boris Gelfand, and many more. And if you like this content, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. See you soon with some more videos, and chess is the best, of course.